fucking love this band. They are the best band ever, period.
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn. Today's deck is another one coming straight out of Duskmourn Early Access. I think this might be the very last Early Access deck. There's possibly one more that I only got a couple games with, but other than that, this is pretty much the last one, I'm pretty sure. This one's called Tenacious D, and the idea behind this deck is we're utilizing the brand new Enduring Tenacity card, trying to turn it up to 11, push it to its limits, and get the absolute most value out of it by playing an 𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐸 Lifegain brew. It's kind of a bat deck, but it's more so just a Lifegain deck, which bats sort of hybrid synergize with. But either way, we're getting an insane amount of value out of Enduring Tenacity. We're using the brand new Leyline of Hope. There's some pretty crazy stuff in this deck. Before we break it down, make sure you like the video if you haven't already. To you guys liking every video, that helps this channel to grow. It helps the video get out to so many more people, and I appreciate it greatly. It really does mean a lot, so thank you so much. If you haven't liked it yet, smash that like button. Also, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an upload. Tons of crazy deck tech content on the way. Even though we're pretty much reaching the end of our early access deck techs, I have a ton more ideas from early access just rattling around in this brain, and I can't wait to just hit the ground running and start brewing them with the new set going live. So look forward to that. Also catch me live Monday through Friday over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/quarantinedcapricorn, because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming. Also, this video has been brought to you by Wonders of the First, but I'll tell you about that later. Let's break down the deck. So, Lifegain in Duskmourn has gotten absolutely insane due to a few new cards that I'm going to go over really quick at the beginning of this deck tech here, and then we'll talk about the curve starting from the 1-drops. So first of all, Enduring Tenacity, 4 mana for a 4/3 enchantment creature Snake Glimmer. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. When Enduring Tenacity dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's an enchantment and not a creature. So this is kind of like a super veto. All of the life that you gain throughout the entire course of the game, after Enduring Tenacity hits the board, they're going to lose that amount of life. But what makes this card even crazier is if they kill it, it comes back a second time as a non-creature enchantment. So they have to kill it once, and then they have to kill it again and can't use creature removal to kill it the second time. They have to specifically use enchantment removal, which means it's super, super hard to get rid of this ability, which means it's almost impossible for this to just not completely decimate your opponent before they can finally get rid of it twice. It's just absurd. It's just absurd. The card is insane. So the entire deck is based around life gain and getting as much value off of the life gain. In addition, we have Leyline of Hope, another new card, 4 mana for an enchantment. Just like all Leylines, if it's in your opening hand, you begin the game with it on the battlefield, and if you would gain life, you gain that much life +1. So if you start with it on the battlefield, you're just gaining extra life with all of your life gain triggers for the whole game, which is kind of crazy on its own, considering you didn't have to pay any mana for it. But also, as long as you have at least 7 life more than your starting life total, creatures you control get +2/+2. So it turns into a super anthem as well that you never had to pay mana for. And in a deck that's built around life gain, it is super easy to get up to 27 and just turn on this anthem and make everything that much more crazy. But what I'm finding really awesome about the Leyline of Hope is it doesn't feel completely useless if you draw into it later in the game. With a lot of the Leylines, you hate to draw it. It feels so super useless, not only because they're costly to play, but a lot of the effects on Leylines in the past are things that extra copies don't really add anything. But if you play a second Leyline out, now every single life gain trigger is going to gain you 1 more life in addition to the 1 more life it was gaining from the first Leyline. And if you have 7 life more than your starting life total, both of them are going to give an additional +2/+2. So multiple copies of Leyline of Hope are nowhere near as bad as multiple copies of Leylines in the past, and honestly, sometimes it just works out fine drawing into them, playing them later in the game. You definitely want other things. It's going to be more efficient to draw into your other stuff, but Leyline of Hope is not a dead card if you draw into it later, and that's just awesome. I don't remember the last time I felt that way about a Leyline. But in addition to the Leylines, the other new card is Sheltered by Ghosts. This card's insane. This card is absolutely bananas. I was a little worried about this at first, and I'll explain why in a minute. This is 2 mana for an enchantment aura, enchants a creature you control, and when it enters the battlefield, you get to exile any non-land permanent an opponent controls until Sheltered by Ghosts leaves the battlefield. So it's kind of like a super ossification. Enchanted creature also gets +1/+0, lifelink, and ward 2. So it buffs up your creature, removes any non-land permanent, not just a creature, but any non-land permanent at all, and counts as an enchantment for potential enchantment synergies. The one downside of this card is if they kill the thing that it's enchanting, they kind of get 3 for 1 value. They get rid of the creature, they get rid of the Sheltered by Ghosts enchantment, and they get back whatever you exiled with the Sheltered by Ghosts. But I underestimated just how impactful the Ward 2 is. Having Ward 2 is insane. If you end up playing this early in the game, by the time they can deal with the thing, you've gotten so much tempo advantage that it almost doesn't matter. I won't say it doesn't matter because it absolutely matters, but it almost doesn't matter. You're so far ahead that it's kind of too little too late even if they get rid of it. So this card is super insane specifically because of the Ward 2 is what makes it great. But in this deck, it's even better because of the lifelink. You can give any of your creatures, your best creatures, lifelink. You can give your creatures that get bigger every time you gain life, lifelink, so that they can make themselves and each other bigger. And it's just gnarly. But let's start at the bottom of the curve. We've got 4 Case of the Uneaten Feast. Get this down on 1, and every single creature you play for the rest of the game is going to gain you a life, or potentially 2 if you have Leyline of Hope in play. And then if you've ever gained 5 or more life in 1 turn, you're going to solve the case, and then at any point in time you can sack it to just replay creatures from your graveyard for that turn, which a lot of times is super relevant if your opponent uses up all of their removal, uses their sweeper, is finally out of gas but they've dealt with their board. Well, now you just sack the case and replay everything, and that can just be absolutely backbreaking on the right board states. Moving on to the 2-drop slot, we've got 3 il-Kor. This gets us additional life gain triggers every time a creature enters, which is absolutely crucial, but it's also going to drain them for 1 life every time a creature dies, which can be important and sometimes make the difference between killing them an entire turn earlier than you otherwise would. We've also got 3 Lifecreed Duos to go along with the 3 il-Kors. I originally considered running 4 il-Kors, but with it being legendary, I think having 3 Lifecreed Duos to supplement it is the right call. This is another 2 mana creature that when another creature enters, you'll gain a life, get you all of those life gain triggers that you need, but this is also a 1/2 flying bat bird. So it being a bat, it's going to trigger some of our bat synergies such as Zoraline, which we'll talk about later. In addition to that, our other 2-drop slot is Deep-Cavern Bat, 2 mana for a 1/1 flying lifelink. We get to exile a card from their hand so we can get rid of their removal or their key piece of board presence that they're trying to curve out with, and really mess up their game plan, while also putting something on the battlefield that can attack in every turn, gain us 1 life with that lifelink, and get us the life gain triggers that we need. Moving on to the... Oh, sorry, we have more 2-drops. Sorry. We also have a bunch of creatures that when they enter, they get value off of gaining that life trigger. So, off of those life gain triggers. I've been streaming for 24 hours, guys. I apologize if I'm slurring my speech. But yeah, it's been an insane night. Duskmourn Early Access has been wild. But we're running 3 Amalia, Benavides, Aguirre. So when it enters the battlefield, if we have any of like Ellis, Lifecreed Duo, that kind of stuff out, we're going to gain life immediately. We're going to put counters on it immediately. We're going to get to explore. If we find non-lands, we'll put counters, and we can choose to keep them on top or put them in the graveyard. If we find lands, we can just draw into them, ramp into the other stuff that we need. This thing gets super big, super quick. We've also got 4 Essence Channeler, kind of does the same thing, 2 mana for a 2/1. When we gain life, we put a +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies, we get to put its counters on any other creature we want. And as long as you've lost life this turn, it has flying and vigilance. We do have some life loss triggers in this deck, so we are running 4 Thran Portals and 4 Caves of Koilos to make sure we consistently have access to ways to make sure we take 1 damage at least to turn on some of those synergies. But it's also a bat, Essence Channeler, in addition to the Lifecreed Duo, in addition to the Deep-Cavern Bats, because in the 3-drop slot we're running 2 Zoralines. Zoraline's a 3/3 flying vigilance for 3, and whenever a bat you control attacks, you gain a life. So all of our attacking bats are going to get us extra life gain triggers if a Zoraline's on the battlefield. But in addition, Zoraline can come out after our opponent runs out of removal and start to get back everything in our graveyard because it has an enters and attacks trigger where we can pay an extra 2 mana and 2 life to bring back any permanent, any non-land permanent that costs 3 or less from our graveyard. So being able to get extra value later on, considering all of our 2-drop slots, all of our 2-drop creatures are so high priority targets that our opponent is just using up all of their removal super quick to take all this stuff out. And then eventually we play the Zoraline and we just start getting everything back. We're also running 2 Gumdrop Poisoners as a little bit of extra removal. And the 2 Gumdrop Poisoners kind of go along with the 4 Sheltered by Ghosts for like a 6-card package of removal. But the Gumdrop Poisoners themselves come into play as a 3/2 lifelinker for 3 mana, and when they enter, up to 1 target creature gets -X/-6 until end of turn, where X is the amount of life you've gained this turn. So in a deck like this, where we're gaining a ton of life, we're gaining even more life just by playing the Gumdrop Poisoner if we have things like Lifecreed Duo, LS il-Kor in case of the Uneaten Feast out. But in addition to that, if we've got Leyline of Hope on the board, we're gaining even more life for free. And a lot of times Gumdrop Poisoner is able to kill really high value targets like Sheoldred and stuff like that. And since it's a 3-drop or less, we can get it back with a Zoraline. And we can get Zoraline and everything back with a solved case of the Uneaten Feast. So there's a lot of ways to just... Our opponent uses up all of their removal, clears our board, but their removal's gone, they're out of gas, and then we just bring back our whole board, which can be insane. But guys, the fact that Enduring Tenacity just comes back on its own if our opponent removes it is nuts. It's so crazy, it's so good. You have to see it in action. Let's check out the games. I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Wonders of the First. Wonders of the First is a brand new collectible card game similar to games like Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, featuring a unique action-based resource economy that helps avoid pitfalls like Mana Flood or Mana Screw, and a battlefield containing multiple realms that unlock over time as you fight for control of the stones. The first 400 card set is called Existence and will launch to retail in the fall, but playtest team starter kits are available to order now. And they haven't forgotten about all you collectors out there. The game contains alternate borderless art variants, as well as highly sought after limited edition numbered prints, culminating in a 1-of-1 stone foil. And the best part is that the developers have a community first approach, with 8 print and play decks available on their website, as well as a version of the game available on Tabletop Simulator, all for free. For more information, be sure to check out wondersccg.com today. That's wondersccg.com. 2 lands. A lot of cheap stuff though. All 2-drops and a free Leyline of Hope, so I am also exhausted, Jay, but I will not be stopping until it ends. Need to get as many decks out of this damn thing as I can for YouTube. Let's keep 7. Kinda wish they'd make it 36 hours instead of 24. Because there's no way I could stay up 36 hours, right? So I could kinda justify doing like 15 and then 12, you know, and getting some sleep in the middle or something like that. 15 and then 10 even. Alright, Fortress. Yeah, Shelter by Ghost is insane. Absolutely insane. You rocked me with that card. Alright, we're gonna go Caves. And Ellis. And now the real question comes, do we trade? Later, Jay. Thanks for popping by. I appreciated that game earlier. You taught me a few things. It's definitely the ward on this card that makes it so good. Without the ward, it would be so super risky. The ward actually makes it pretty good, though. Alright, this is frustrating. Gotta go Thran Portal for white. Gotta play Ellis first. Then we can Mirrex next turn and play 2 of these. Relic of Legends. Play a 3-drop? Maybe? Play Amalia. Gain 2 life. Explore. Show me. Okay, okay. Mirrex. I think we wait to play Sheltered by Ghosts next turn. Get down the Essence Channeler right now. What are you thinking, my friend? Alright, pays the 3 life. Pays another life to Ellis. We still get the counter on Essence Channeler. No attack. He wants to play stuff out of my yard. I am not impressed, my friend. I mean, we kind of have to trade here, right? Or else he plays stuff out of our yard, and that's really bad. Rutstein. Rutstein makes sense. Gnashie. Lifecreed Duo. And Sheltered by Ghosts. And what gets the most value? Probably Inti, right? Probably Inti. No blocks. Take it all. Which means he can get back the Rona or the Nashi. Oh, he gets back both. That's actually really good. That's actually really good. Yowza. We'll do this. Gain some life. Go up to 10. And then we'll swing with Lifecreed Duo. Gain some more life. I believe 3. Get a counter on the Channeler again. Not too shabby. Play the Fortress, pass turn. We are completely out of gas. It's 13 to 13. It's been happening a lot. Us flooding out. Only play 23 lands. That's fine. Get whatever value you can, my friend. You could transform the Rona. Right? Theoretically. Keeps the tapped one? Weird. Maybe he wanted access to the summoning sickness. He's gonna play something at instant speed. 4. Let me think. So I guess we do Temp Retreats. And then sack it. Gain 4 life. Then play the Gumdrop Poisoner. Kill the Menace dude. Alright, Plaza, that's fine. Swing, gain more life, put you at 5, get another counter. Pass a turn. I think we're good, man. We're at 19. Even if he wipes our board, we've got fortresses ready to go. There we go. 2 tap lands, 2 Leyline of Hopes. You know what? I'm going to be a crazy man and I'm going to keep it because we have 2 Leyline of Hopes. And I want to see what that's like. Yeah, that makes sense. Fortress. Maybe we get lucky. We top deck an untapped land. Hopeless Nightmare. Must be playing skeletons, huh? I think we dump the Lifecreed Duo. Well, good thing I did. Because we Gumdrop Poisoner this turn. Still need another land, though. Steps ahead. I'm fine with that. We got the real value right here, so discard a card. It has to be Tenacity, unfortunately. I think we have to try. Do we just put out the Gumdrop Poisoner? Try and bait out another counterspell? I mean, it swings through the Skull Crab, so that might be fine. That might be fine. Sheltered by Ghosts. Don't think we need that yet. Let's swing with this and gain 5. It's gonna Bitter Triumph. Sure. Well, we'll hope he's out of removal. And we get to keep our Zoraline, because that was the entire point of lining things up that way. And it looks like we might be in luck. I mean, thank you for putting things in my yard. What do we want? Bat, right? Oh god, a deadly cover-up. Figures. Ow. Well, there's the land. Top deck's the land he needs. He didn't play it? Are you out of your gourd? What's he thinking? What is he thinking? I mean, I guess we just try and crank up the life and turn on the Leyline of Hopes as best we can, right? Because that is a lot of value right there. A lot of life. A lot of life. Turned on the Leyline of Hopes, went to 32. He can sweep now, but it's kind of a little too late, right? Alright, we'll play out the Ellis. It's a 6/6 because of the ley lines. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Restless Reef. Sure. Yeah, make me mill stuff. I have ways of getting it back, so absolutely. Well, there's my 4 mana. Swing for 7. Put you to 2, put me at 40. Sweep the board, right? Which is fine. Lose 1 life to 𝐿𝑖𝑠, he's down to 1. We just need a land and we can swing with the fortress. Oh hey, a land. Let's swing with the fortress. 5/8 fortress, bro. Good God. Alright, let's keep this. Brewlab again. God. We will discard Amalia. Figures we top deck a Leyline. Top deck a Leyline. And another Amalia. What's more important? Probably black. We'll go 𝐿𝑖𝑠. You have the removal, sir. Bitter Triumph. Cost you 3 life, though. I mean, I'm okay with that. Let's just get down an Amalia since we have 2. If he does have removal, we get to eat some of it. Which seems nice. Jace, sure. And now I think we take our chance with the Zoraline. Yes, considering we drew a second one and he filled up our graveyard with stuff we can get out with it. Yes, we absolutely play Zoraline. Scrabbling Skull Crab. You know what? Let's ditch the Leyline. We have so much shit in the yard. Oh, Zoraline's dead. We just need him to run out of gas. That's it, man. Just need you to run out of gas. Are you out of gas? Please? Alright, I mean, if he has to do that, he's still got the nowhere to run. This man is no fun. 0 fun. I guess we're playing Enduring Tenacity with no synergies. Just rock his face, right? Draw some cards, you probably draw removal, but at least your Jace is gone. Do we Leyline of Hope? I think we do. Swinging in, hitting for 4. I think we Leyline now so that if we attack with a fortress next turn, we get so much more out of it. And if we don't attack with a fortress next turn, it's because we're drawing something that's 2 or 3 drop. And we're playing it and Amalia. Yeah, let's do that before the fortress. Counter it, sure. Swing. We're getting there, man. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. Emergent Haunting. It's got us down to 28 cards. It's not nothing. 26 cards. Take 2. So close. We're down to 25 cards. Can't really kill the Enduring Tenacity, right?
Emotions are distractions. Focus on the facts. I will clear your mind.
And Restless Fortress. And swing. And he's dead. Yeah, we gotcha. We gotcha. Good old Enduring Tenacity. Croakies. He's croaking. Ugh. Alright, I guess we'll keep it because Leyline. We'll start with the Backstreet, try to find another land. Not a tapped land, though. Good God. Get out of here. Charming Scoundrel. Caves of Koilos. Deep-Cavern Bat. Let's see, we got a Mirth, Forge, Final Vengeance, Diabolic Intent. Well, it's gotta be the Vengeance, right? Interesting idea, though. He's got a lot of cards that are good with the Forge, right? Or he's using all the cards that are good with the Mirth. That's what it looks like. But we've got lots of life gains, so I don't think it's gonna matter. Sheltered by Ghosts. We'll get rid of the Forge. Swing for 2, gain 2 life. Gain 3 life because of Leyline of Hope. What is that last card? He's got Diabolic Intent, which is rough. He could find a cut down. And then play the cut down. Which makes all the sense in the world. But I mean, at least he loses all his board presence, right? He'll get back a Forge with 0 counters. It is weird that he went to his second main phase, though, because he could have swung if he got the Forge back. Oh, he's just gonna play another Forge. Okay. I guess. We should crack the case here. Alright, it's solved. So now when he kills our stuff, we're just getting it back by cracking the case if we need to. Honestly, the Zoraline can get back the Sheltered by Ghosts, which is awesome. Sacks it to Disturbing Mirth. Makes sense. Yeah, he wanted to get rid of the Deep-Cavern Bat. But he kind of had to get rid of Zoraline, or else we just get it back. Well, I guess it does exile, right? That's kind of a bummer. We just have so many lands, man. We got so flooded on lands. Alright, we turn on the Leyline, so we're swinging in for 7. Which is gnarly. Because we gain 5 more life now. We're up to 34 and the turn. I can't believe we have so few cards. And we're making it work. Look at how flooded we are. We have twice as many lands as non-lands. And we're making it work. Look at how many cards he's gone through. Alright, makes a treasure. Funeral room. Makes sense. Drains for 1. Dude, what is going on? Just so many lands. And now he has to chump block. We're at 36. I cannot believe we are getting this done with this much flooding. Insane. We've drawn almost half of our lands in a quarter of our deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 non-land cards. Did Croakies actually rope me? Wow. Okay. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck text, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.